Hello everyone, and welcome to the debut episode of Hotline League. Taking your calls, joined right now by Mark Zimmerman. Well, for those of you that don't know what this show is, it's pretty much all of you because Mark and I are still figuring out what it is, but we like the idea of having a call-in show. And so here we are, Hotline League. It's 10 p.m. on a Wednesday, and so we know that everybody's sitting at home right now. You're thinking. You got some questions about League of Legends. You got some questions about your life. You got some questions about esports. And my co-host Mark and I are here to answer those questions and give you all the advice you could ever need.
Yeah, anything is valid. You're an angry TSM fan about how you're getting hated on by Thorn and all these other bullies. You can call in, let us know how that feels. Talking about Worlds, what teams you're looking out for, what it's like being a bronze scrub. Anything and everything will be fielded almost. But
and now Panda Pornstar.
Heyo.
Hello,
Hey.
Panda Pornstar.
Hello.
Thanks for calling to the show. Where are you from, Panda Pornstar?
I'm from SoCal.
Very good.
Yeah. Earlier, you said you wanted to talk to like an old school TSM fan. I've been around since like the Bay Life days. So, what'd you like want to ask?
How does it feel, dude? You get hated on everywhere.
Well, I joined season 2. And I didn't really know anything. So, like, obviously, I just became a TSM fan because they were, like, the most popular. But over the years, I don't like labeling myself as a TSM fan because I don't really like their fans. I feel like when they lose, they hate their players too much. And when Dowers was on a team, he was my favorite player. So that always, like, bothered me.
So you have, since, even though you're still a fan of the team, you have shied away from the TSM label.
Yes, just because I think their fans, they're the most passionate, but they get a little out of hand sometimes.
Yeah, it's interesting
you are
to
one,
me that you're a TSM fan, but you're literally like there's almost like an embarrassment for you in saying that. Do you own like Twitch or TSM merchandise or anything?
I met Dyrus when he did a fan meetup in like Chino Hills one time and had him sign my 3DS. That's about it.
Okay.
But what do you call it? Because I really do like TSM's players, and I think that's what's like most important. Like all their players are good, so how can I say I don't like the team just because they're fans? You know?
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
but I mean, like, I'm from Boston, so I'm a fan of the Patriots. I'm a fan of like a lot of teams that people hate, and I don't shy away from it. So, like, what do you think it is about TSM fans in particular? Because like the same thing kind of happens. I don't know if you know about the Patriots, but like we'll lose a regular season game, and the fans will freak out. They'll be like, "Oh, this guy's washed up. This stuff sucks." Yada yada yada. And not every fan, but a somewhat vocal portion do. And then at the end of the year, you know, we're in the playoffs, we're making a deep run. And why do you think it is for TSM fans in particular that they seem so much more adamant? Do you think it's just like the nature of the internet maybe playing into it, that like people just spew random shit?
I think it is. It's also like really easy to just like say like whatever you want on the internet and like to not act reasonable and not to have like civil discussion. Because like I like to label myself as a Cloud9 fan, and I don't particularly like Jensen, but he does have better stats. And like when someone says like Jensen can't even be compared to Bjergsen, it's just ridiculous. Because like you should only worry about the stats, not who's doing it.
All right, so we have one TSM fan who is afraid to be
Yep.
shamed. I want to know if there's anyone in here who is a TSM fan who is on the more obnoxious end of the spectrum, because Panda Pornstar, despite the name, seems pretty chill.
Are they gonna call themselves out as the obnoxious TSM fan?
I mean, they
I'm
might.
an obnoxious TSM fan.
I mean, like, I'm kind of obnoxious as a person.
Well,
I think I can admit that.
To be fair, I used to be an obnoxious CSM fan, so that's kind of
you're
there we go.
reformed.
Reformed Panda Pornstar. Thank you so much, Panda Pornstar, for calling into the show and enjoying
no
that
problem.
beautiful Southern California night we got going on.
Sorry.
We got Mark coming in with just a TSM fan in a moment. Excited to see how obnoxious this person is. Hello. Speaking of how obnoxious. Okay, so
Heyo.
Ichiro Kumun. How do you pronounce your name?
I hear Ichirakuman a lot, but most of the time it's Ichirakuman.
Okay,
Just some bullshit I made.
Ichirakuman's
And
good.
I'm sure you're calling from the most like American city ever with a name like that, right?
Yeah, I'm calling from Portland, Oregon.
Do you have a question for us, or are we here to chat with you about
'Cause,
your TSM fan?
a little bit ago, you guys were talking about like people who were more like reserved TSM fans, and I'm more of like an outspoken supporter of TSM. Not to the point where I'm like posting shit on Reddit, like, "Oh, TSM's gonna win Worlds. This is your year," and that shit. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go through a scale here. We found like the embarrassed to be TSM fan guy who's fine to say he's a TSM fan, and hopefully the next one I find is the Reddit shit poster TSM, and hopefully we can find one of those
Yeah.
here soon.
So
I'm like past like the just fine TSM fan
okay, so why would you describe yourself as beyond the just fine TSM fan?
because I feel like the people who called him before were like really reserved by it.
Yeah.
Because like I mean, for example, like the team icons for Worlds that just came out, like you buy them and you get to flash the emote, you get like that little tag that goes with your name, right?
Yep.
And what I fucking love doing is when I load into a game and then I just get in, I'll chat, I see a TSM fan, lol, TSM sucks, and then I just drop a re in the chat and shit like that. And if I'm winning, I'll just spam my emote because I want to support my team. And while I don't think that they're gonna get win Worlds or anything, I just do think that it's important you just stick to who you're supporting. If you're bitching out, then you're not a real fan.
Yeah.
So you are a little bit more on the obnoxious end because you're willing to play the game when people say, "Oh, TSM fans are so annoying." You're willing to fire back a little bit.
Yeah. Like I like to troll them back.
Yeah. Do you think that trolling them back is the best way to support your team? Because you did list that as a way to support your team. So do you feel like being toxic in game with TSM emotes is a good way to do that?
I just think it's funny. Maybe not for supporting your team. Maybe it puts out like a bad image, but I just think it's funny.
All right, so tell us, what is the most toxic, or maybe like the most extreme TSM fandom thing that you've done so far?
That's probably the extent of it. It's
Okay,
more like
well, that's pretty common.
owning up to being like obnoxious like in the game. It's not as much like me like that's like how I actually am. I'm just trying to sell like the whole stereotype of being obnoxious for like the point of it.
Okay, so you have embraced. It's not enough like the other guy that we talked to. TSM fans
ran away
make
from
him
it.
like nervous to admit to be a TSM fan. TSM fans actually have made you want to be more obnoxious and become like that
The
stereotype.
cult mentality.
Yeah.
No. It's the people on the other side who are like hating on you, like, oh, TSM fans, they're so annoying. I'm just more trying to embrace the annoying and just trying to annoy them like that.
Yeah.
So, in one sense, you're kind of perpetuating it, but you're still not quite the most obnoxious TSM fan out there.
Yeah,
like if no one harasses you, you're probably pretty chill about it.
Yeah, exactly. And like just in my mind, like the criteria for like a really obnoxious TSM fan is like if I go onto the like TSM subreddit or like post-match discussions on Reddit and I see just like, wow, Doublelift is the best fucking player I've ever seen in my goddamn life, or like TSM is winning Worlds for sure. Nobody can go toe to toe with them. That's to me is like the epitome of like the most obnoxious TSM.
Right. And I wouldn't mind getting a call with one of them. If anyone has their Reddit history, they can link me so I can verify you are in fact. I don't want someone lying, telling me they're not a TSM shit poster.
Well,
Anyways,
there's somebody in the chat right now spamming TSM, so maybe that's part of it.
yeah, I'll grab that person and see
Very good.
if I can get some information out of them as well.
Ichikuramon, that's a terrible way to pronounce it, but I want to thank you so much. By the way, last question, Portlandia. I've never been to Portland, but I like Portlandia. How much representative is that show of Portland?
Oh god, it's the most accurate thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, that's great. Can't wait to go check out that city. Thank you so much for the call. Good.
Yeah,
chatting
later,
with
dude.
you. Yeah, very good. All right. So,
How old do you think he was?
20. Mark, you want to grab the last caller?
Yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yep.
Welcome, Ron Swanson.
Hey,
How's it going, Ron? So, Ron,
Great.
where are you calling from?
South Carolina.
South Carolina. All right.
Yeah.
And
Wasn't someone else from South Carolina, or am I tripping?
No, nobody else was from South Carolina. We didn't have any duplicates, I don't believe.
Okay.
Ron, can you do you have a specific question for us, or should we discuss the topic that Mark's been looking for?
I don't have any questions. I'm just here because you asked for obnoxious TSM fan.
All right, so just describe the levels of your obnoxiousness. Like we've heard a couple people on the spectrum. Where are you on the TSM obnoxious spectrum?
I think out of everyone that you've talked to, I'm the highest. I went on a huge rant after Worlds last year because I got really pissed that we lost. So
where did you go on the rant?
I get annoyed on Twitter because
Okay.
I don't use Reddit.
Okay.
Would you describe yourself as like a shit poster though? Like when Bjergsen tweets, "Oh, sorry, we let you down, team fans." Are you one of the people who responds to that tweet and says like, "Kill yourself" or anything like that?
I don't say kill yourself. I'm like, dude, you fucking suck.
Have you
Something like that.
tweeted at a player that they suck?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
All right,
at some point last year.
All right. So, what? All right, we're learning here. So, what drew you to TSM as a brand?
Well, I started playing beginning of season 6, so I was just looking through YouTube for league stuff, and I found TSM Legends.
Okay.
So I was like, this is really cool. So I got really deep into the team.
Okay. And so TSM Legends, and what specifically? Is it just the personalities of the players, or?
Yeah, I think the ability to feel like you're connecting with the players by watching that
Yeah.
was kind of cool.
All right. Now, why do you think it is that you can't express your when TSM loses? What is the philosophy, the reasoning for going on like a Twitter rant? You know.
All right, my thought process is always at TSM, like last year specifically, because that's when I started watching, that they were good enough to get way farther in World. They just didn't play like it.
Okay.
So it just annoyed me, you know?
Yeah. So they let you down.
Yeah.
All right, and listen, it's fair. TSM let down a lot of people last year at Worlds, but not everyone went to Twitter and ranted angrily about it, and that's fine. It's fine that you did it. Like, I'm not. There's no judgment here. But what was the impulse? Like, did you feel like you just needed a vent, or
Yeah.
you
Did
wanted
you
them to
hope that
see
they
it,
would
or what
see it?
was it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I get tilted really easily. So when I see shit like that, I just go, I need to tell someone my frustrations. Let
Yeah.
someone know that they should have done better at Worlds.
Yeah.
Do you hope that they read it, or did you not really care? This was just like you spewing your emotions out.
I mean, it would be kind of nice if they read it, but
It'd be nice
it
if they
wasn't.
read.
It wasn't a main goal.
Okay.
It would be nice if they know my frustration.
Okay. Do you feel like your frustrations outrival their frustrations when they lose?
No, I definitely don't think that.
Okay.
It's just in the heat of the moment, I get really tilted. So
Yeah. Do you
So
play League of Legends as a game?
yeah.
Have you ever been, punished for behavioral issues in League of Legends?
It's really funny because legit 2 days ago I got punished and I couldn't talk in chat for 10 games. 'cause
Okay. Was that
Do you
your
ever
first time being
receive-
punished?
That was my first time being punished.
All right.
Do you ever receive like harassment by other people? Like, do you have a TSM logo or anything? Because one of the guys was saying,
Oh, yeah. Legit, the last game I played, I had a TSM logo, the new Worlds one, and someone was like, TSM fan, lol. And I was just like, I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure you said exactly okay.
Do
Yeah,
you
just
have-
like, okay.
Do you have other friends that watch competitive League of Legends?
Some, but not near as much as I do.
Okay. Are they also TSM fans?
I don't think so. I think they're like Immortals fans or some shit like that.
Okay.
I'm like,
So, have you ever gotten like an argument? Like, so you say you don't post on Reddit much, but like, what about Twitter or anything? Like,
yeah.
have you ever 'cause I think that's where like a lot of the TSM fan suck mentality comes from, is like their arguments with other people online. So like, yes, you've spewed on your own timeline, but like, has there been a post that you've responded to, then someone else responds to, and then you get in like this back and forth?
Oh yeah, I had a big argument about something. It was after Worlds, and I was just like talking about something. He was just talking about how NA could never do good at Worlds, never. And I was like, that makes no sense. They have to at some point at least do decent.
Yeah. What do you think TSM's chances are at this Worlds?
I mean, I think they're a good enough team to reasonably make semis. They have to play like it. I feel like they're really bad just choking on the international stage.
Yeah.
Even though I think they're good enough to be that. They just
This
don't
is
play.
so you say that you think they could get to semis. This is surprising me. I would expect like most TSM fans to be like, oh, they can definitely win.
Well, I think if they like y'all were saying, if they got really lucky and missed out on playing, like SKT gets knocked out by someone, Longzhu gets knocked out by someone, then yeah, they could. But realistically, I would just be happy with the semis.
Yeah.
I mean, so
Sorry,
if you think they do you think they need to dodge Korean teams to get to the semis, or do you think they can get to the semis through a Korean team in quarters?
I think they could beat Samsung. I haven't watched a lot of Longzhu, so I don't know much, but I've watched SKT, and obviously they're gods. But I think they could legitimately beat Samsung in semis or quarters.
Yeah. Who is your favorite player on TSM?
Ooh, I love Hanser.
Hanser.
He's my favorite. Yeah.
Okay, so...
Is it because he takes his shirt off?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's amazing.
So... Let's say TSM gets out or doesn't make it out of groups this year. First off, how are you going to feel? Is it going to be similar to last year, or are your expectations lowered?
My expectations are a bit lower, but I would be probably more annoyed due to the fact that how easy this group should be.
Okay. So you maybe you'll go on Twitter and post all this stuff. Let me set up a theoretical scenario. You know, you see TSM losing groups. You're super disappointed. They go out and they lose. It's embarrassing. They lost to the wild card team that somehow made it into their group.
Yeah, they were so close to making it. They just need to get the 2 seed, and they lose some wild card seed in their group, and Misfits and the other team get out.
The next week you were in the local Chick-fil-A line in South Carolina, and Hanser is in front of you with his girlfriend. You see him. You recognize him. All right.
Yeah.
What do you say to him after he's let you down so much?
And he didn't flash ult again on Kennen.
Yeah.
Okay, I would 100% not say anything to Hanser because he's a big dude, and I would get my ass handed to me.
Okay.
Okay, what would you say online later, though?
Yeah.
I would say so much shit because he didn't know it was me, so I would say so much shit.
Okay,
online.
so you admit to hiding behind the anonymity.
Keyboard Warrior.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right. And you're okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, why not?
Very good. Yeah, why not? We learned a lot tonight, Ron, and I feel like you helped us.
Do you think you'll ever change your final question? Do you think you'll ever change your ways? Is there any hope for you in the future?
I mean, I hope so. I'm trying to be less toxic, but it's not working great.
You know, and really isn't that just the state of humanity as a whole? We're all trying to be less toxic.
I mean, that should be the goal of every human.
Yep, I agree. And really, I feel like we've learned a lot in this conversation. Thank you so much, Ron Swanson, for your time on the show. Enjoy your Southern Carolina Chick-fil-A. Have a good one. Well, thank you to everyone who called in. Mark, I feel like this was I enjoyed this a lot.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun.
Yeah. Everyone, this has been Hotline League. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time.